Hey everyone, Tony George, DocSports.com. Week 6 NFL opening line report. This is something we do every Tuesday. Most of these lines I've seen a little bit, but some of them I haven't. I always take Mondays off, and of course, these are my initial reactions. They're not handicapped opinions. They're just my initial reactions, raw and candid, to the opening lines in this week's NFL action. Great week last week for us in the NFL. Managed to go 5-1, hit a 6-unit top play, and looking forward to a great week this week. There are a couple of games I've seen on here that are worthy of a 6 or a 7-unit pick this weekend. I'm not going to tip my hand here because I, do this for a living over at Doc Sports, but nonetheless, we're going to go through them here this Tuesday here. Initial reactions only. That being said, be sure and thumbs up, subscribe, and leave your comments. Who's your best bet this week? What are you thinking? You can leave the comments in the section below, and I'll go ahead and reply to those that are respectful, that aren't dropping F-bombs and this, that, and the other. Whenever you have a good week, the haters like to come in and say that you just, every now and then the sun shines on a dog's butt, and this, that. So we weed those out. The links to porn sites, competitors coming in want you to come to their site because they're too lazy to go out on their own and build up an audience like we built here at Doc. So we have to weed some things out. But nonetheless, we'll put your comments in the description below. Okay, now the light's going to go in and out today because we have a very windy, cloudy, cold day here in Las Vegas. It's 40 degrees right now in Las Vegas, and kind of partly cloudy. And got Mrs. George making a big pot of chili. Kind of feel like I'm back in the Midwest. Whenever it gets cold, the first thing you do, make chili. So we're making chili and having a cup of coffee with my followers and friends. Let's talk some NFL. And we'll go through these here. Thursday night game. Tampa Bay on the road opened up at 6.5, total 52.5. Right now it's Tampa Bay up to 7 and total 52. Philly, one of my picks last week against Carolina. They got the win straight up. Tampa is the walking wounded right now. I mean, you got to be very concerned about Tampa this week on a short week with their injury list and what they're going to bring to the table, including Tom Brady, who's got a bad thumb. And what an unbelievable deal last week. 5 touchdown passes for Tom Brady. I mean, the guy is just an ageless wonder. He's Superman. He's freaking Superman. And being a AFC Kansas City Chiefs fan, I've never, you love to hate the Patriots when he was there. But I respect what he's done. He's the GOAT. But they've got injuries, defensive secondary, Gronk, Godwin. They got a bunch of guys running back by committee. I'm not interested in Thursday night games for the most part, although I did have one out last week with the Rams. But at the end of the day here, I'll probably leave this alone. If anything, I'd probably go under. I'm not laying 7 with a team that beat up. I don't care how good they are. And I don't care that Tom Brady's a quarterback. Miami at Jacksonville. Here's a battle of uglies. Miami opened up at 2.5, 43.5, and now they're up to 3.5 and 45.5. Miami are bust. Both of them are bad. Usually, whenever you have 2 bad teams playing, you always take the underdog, and Jacksonville's 3.5-point underdog at home. 45.5 seems a little high. Houston, Indianapolis, what a game last night. Monday Night Football. Colts grabbed defeat from the jaws of victory. Going into the fourth quarter, if they had a 16-point lead or more, they were 120-0. Going back 120 games, they were in that position. Many of them, obviously, with Peyton Manning over the years. But epic meltdown and quite a performance by Lamar Jackson. Houston catching 10, 43.5. Now, I had the New England Patriots as a survivor pool pick at Circa out here. You want to talk about having a heart attack. And the week before I had Cincinnati on Thursday night when Jacksonville was beating the piss out of them for most of the game. 2 weeks in a row, I'm going to have a heart transplant that goes again here. I'm not laying 10 with the Colts, especially as beat up as their secondary is. And I know Davis isn't all that, but Houston is competing. They made kind of some bad calls and coaching decisions in that game against the Patriots that probably cost them. But I would take it. I could only take it. I couldn't lay it. Green Bay, Chicago. Green Bay opened up 4.5 and total 46. Green Bay is 4.5 across the board, and the total dropped by 1 point to 45. Chicago with a big win over the Raiders. Raiders in disarray. We'll talk about that in a minute. But at the end of the day here, with that Chicago defense, I'd lean under out of the gate. Kansas City opened up at 5.5, 54. Now it's 6.5 and 55.5 at Washington. Better defense at home getting points. Need I say more? This is the NFL. Kansas City, what are they, 2-13 or something like that? Their last 15 games against the spread. You can lay 6.5 on the road with arguably the worst defense in the NFL. How Steve Spagnuolo still has a job in Kansas City. If you and I screwed up at work that bad, we'd be fired next day. Yes, there's a little bit of indignation on my part because I'm a huge Kansas City fan. My wife is an avid, over-the-top, insane Kansas City fan. Most of my friends are Kansas City fans. Growing up in Lincoln, Nebraska, it was 3 hours away. It was always Royals and Chiefs, and I lived in Kansas City for 11 years before I moved to Vegas. I'm a huge Kansas City fan. They suck. They're not even going to win their division. The Chargers are winning their division. Period. I'm not laying 6.5 Kansas City, are you? Handicapping 101. Better defense at home, getting points, take them. Minnesota, Carolina. Carolina opened up at minus 148. It's minus 146. That's a tough call. Minnesota last week. What about that? Less than a minute left. Get the ball back. They have one timeout. Over 1,400 guys in the Circa Survivor contest on the Vikings last week. I was on the Patriots. I was hoping it would take out 2/3 of the field. I was the biggest Detroit fan. I gave out Detroit for a free pick for you on video over the weekend. Minnesota can't be laying 10 to anybody. Do I think Detroit is going to be? Detroit competes. I'll give them that. Their coach, I like their coach. That looks too easy to take Carolina. Just telling you, it looks too easy. Here's a good one. I have no opinion on that game, actually. If anything, I'd take Minnesota just because it looks too easy to take Carolina. Chargers at Baltimore. Here's a ball game. Baltimore minus 3 and 48. They're at home off a big Monday Night Football win. Lamar Jackson threw for 400 and some yards and about 90% completion rate. They can run the ball. Chargers defense can be one of the better defenses they've seen this year. Total's 51.5. You got a couple high-powered offenses. You got playmakers all over the field. You got two great quarterbacks. Depending on the weather, you might want to take a look at the over there. We're going to find out how good the Chargers are. I think they're better. I think they're better than the Ravens, honestly. That might be a live dog there. Cincinnati at Detroit. Cincinnati opened up at a 3.5 point road favorite, total 49. Now it's down to 3 and 48. I'll take Detroit in a teaser. LA Rams and Giants. Giants an absolute train wreck now. I don't know what their quarterback's going to be with Jones getting banged up as bad as he did. Rams on the road, 6.5, total 50. Now they're up to minus 10.5 and total 47.5. Yeah, the reason that's dropping is because that's an underplay. Rams just going to do just enough to win that game and stay healthy. Arizona, Cleveland. Cleveland opened up at 3, total 53.5. Now Cleveland's down to 2.5, 50.5. I lean Cleveland. Arizona has not seen a running game like that. We'll see how good Arizona really is. Are they a false 5-0? No. Are they good? Yeah. Is Murray having an MVP year? Yeah. They played and struggled badly against a San Francisco team that is the walking wounded with absolutely no running game, and Trey Lance stunk it up at quarterback. He's not ready for the NFL yet. My early leans Cleveland there. Vegas at Denver. Denver opened up at 2.5, 44.5. Now it's up a point to 3.5 and total 44. Denver, by the way, is 12-5 against the spread after a last game loss. So after they lose the 1 week, the next week they cover the spread. 12 of their last 17 games. Obviously, John Gruden's out. I don't make a lot of comments about political stuff or controversial stuff or social injustice and all this other stuff that's going on, but it doesn't make a difference when you said it, what you did, and when you did it. It's right here, right now, and we are all in a different culture. John Gruden's an old school, not wishy-washy with his words type guy. And he said some things privately to somebody, anywhere from 12 to, 4 years ago. That stuff will come back and bite you in the butt nowadays. Even if you're saying it in jest or sarcastically. Especially in the age that we're living in. It's too bad because I like John Gruden and I think NFL's a lot better with him in it than with him not in it. He makes it entertaining. I thought he was one of the best color analysts on Monday Night Football ever. He made watching Monday Night Football fun. Anyway, it's too bad he's out and he'll never be back in. I can tell you that. Denver laying 3.5 at home. I'd take them. Dallas, New England. Dallas opened up at -1 up to -4. Total 49.5. Get on Dallas now. Seattle, Pittsburgh. No Russell Wilson. This is a Sunday night game. Seattle opened up at -2.5. The look-ahead line. And 48. Get this. Now it's Pittsburgh -5. Total 42. Russell Wilson is, you talk about Mahomes, you talk about these up and coming quarterbacks, Herbert, Murray, Jackson, Mahomes, as I mentioned, Allen for Buffalo. I'm sure I'm missing somebody. Obviously Tom Brady, but I'm talking about dynamic, prolific, dual threat quarterbacks that, make a lot of third downs and move the chains on their own and can throw the ball on the run and make big plays. Russell Wilson's the most dangerous quarterback in the NFL, in my opinion, to this day. He is just a dangerous cat. And without him, I think Seattle's dead in the water, and Pittsburgh isn't that good. But in this case, I think it's going to be difficult with Geno Smith for them to win on the road. I think Pittsburgh can get them by a TD. That's a Sunday night game. Monday night football game, Buffalo at Tennessee. Buffalo -3.5, total 53.5 to open. Buffalo's up 2 points now to -5.5, and 54.5 is the total. Up a point. I wrote something down for you guys on Monday Night Football. Something you might want to consider early in the week before this total gets around 56, which is going to be. These two teams in their last 4 games combined have scored 275 points. That's 68 points per game combined. Buffalo, 38, 40, 43, 35. Tennessee, 37, 24, 25, 33. Buffalo scored 156 points in 4 games. Tennessee, 119. You're going to see a healthy dose of Henry for Tennessee to try and keep Buffalo's offense off the field. Is Buffalo's offense as good as what they showed against Kansas City on Sunday night? Yeah. But Kansas City's got the worst defense in the NFL. One of the worst defenses I've seen in quite some time. Tennessee's defense isn't all that much better. They get in shootouts to win. Monday Night Football, crazy things happen, but if you're not looking at the over, then, well, you should be. Just saying. NFL opening line report. Who do you like? Leave it in the comments section. We'll talk about it all week. Thanks for tuning in. Going to have a great week this week in the NFL with some big picks off a 5-1 week. Let's get it done right over there at DocSports.com.